guys? It is almost the end of August of 2021, so of course it is time to talk about the movies that I'm anticipating for the rest of 2021, all the 4 movies of 2021. Obviously, I haven't done my most anticipated and best summer movies of 2021 because this summer movie season hasn't been that great. There's a lot of disappointments, there's a lot of bad movies. Like, the only movie I actually like throughout the summer movie season is The Suicide Squad. That is it. The rest, not pretty disappointing. And Jungle Cruise as well. Jungle Cruise and The Suicide Squad are the best ones. So obviously, I can't make a top 2 list. So I didn't get a chance to do my most anticipated either. I apologize to you guys. I've been very busy throughout this year. So it's time to talk about the movies that I'm excited for the rest of 2021. And as you guys can see, I got the green screen back. Yay! We got the green screen back once again. I am so happy that we have the green screen back. I feel like the background is starting to get boring. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's use the green screen again. We're returning with the green screen since 2019. It's good to have the green screen back. Of course, I'm going to use it from now on for the rest of the movie reviews. For now on, I think the green screen is really cool to use, so I honestly regret why I'm not using it anymore. Maybe it's because I'm starting to get bored with it, but honestly, I wanted to have it back for a while, so got the green screen back. So hopefully you guys like this new background that I'm going to use, because that's the background I'm going to use for the rest of my movie reviews. So, no further ado, let's start talking about the movies that I'm excited for the rest of 2021. And of course, we got some honorable mentions. And my first honorable mention is Antlers. This movie was meant to come out last year, but of course during the pandemic, it's coming out this year. I know it has Kerry Russell in it. I don't remember the trailers all that well. I have to rewatch the trailers. But I remember when I saw the first trailer for the first time, it looks pretty disturbing. I don't know if it's like an A24 film or anything. I barely remember it. I have to check the trailer out again. But I remember the movie looks very, very disturbing. No Time to Die. This movie has been delayed so many times. I think it's probably the most delayed movie of 2020. It's been delayed so many times. This is the final Daniel Craig Bond film, so hopefully it still comes out this year. Top Gun Maverick, another movie that I hope it still comes out this year. I think it is coming out this year. There's just no announcement that it's officially still coming out this year, but when I looked at the Hoyt's website and coming soon and all that stuff, it says on there, so Top Gun Maverick is coming out this year, and obviously I'm excited for the movie because I really am a fan of the first Top Gun movie. The Last Duel, this is Ridley Scott's new movie, and obviously I love Ridley Scott. He has hit and misses, but most of these movies are a hit, so I'm really excited to see what Ridley Scott does with this movie, especially with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon's in the film, and that chick from Free Guy. So The Last Duel, hopefully that movie doesn't suck. The French Dispatch. This is the new Wes Anderson movie. Of course, this movie looks very artistic. It looks like another movie that's going to go for an Oscar bait. And I'm really excited to see what Wes Anderson can do with this movie. King Richard. This is Will Smith's new movie. And honestly, this movie looks like it's a very sweet biographical movie about a father and 2 girls playing tennis. And these 2 girls have been one of the best tennis players in history. So I'm really excited to see their story. And my last honorable mention, that's almost on my number 10, The Eternals. The first trailer looks really, really cool. I think the cast of the movie looks amazing. New MCU film, always excited for an MCU film, especially with these characters I haven't heard of. And I like when I see characters I haven't heard of that became so iconic to me, like Guardians of the Galaxy. So hopefully The Eternals is basically like that. And I also forgot to mention some other movies as well, like Malignant, which is James Wan's new film. That looks really good. It's out of the Conjuring movie, so I'm guessing he skipped the Conjuring 3 for this movie. This movie looks really, really good. And also Hugh Jackman's new film, Reminiscence. This also looks very, very interesting. Another good-looking science fiction film, and Hugh Jackman out of a Wolverine role for this serious role. I'm pretty pumped. So those are my honorable mentions. Obviously, I'm excited for those movies, but not as excited as those 10 movies on my list. So, let's get started on my most anticipated movies for the rest of 2021. Starting off with my number 10 is ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is the most interest I have with the MCU films coming out this year, with another one I'm putting on my list. Obviously, you know what it is. But Shang-Chi, obviously, I cannot wait to see some new characters in the MCU. Because we need new characters. We already see the old characters. Let's bring out some new characters. And I like that, you know, with Black Panther, it focuses on the African-American culture. This movie is focusing on the Asian culture. And I think this movie has a full-on Asian cast. I can't wait to see the guy who plays Shang-Chi in the film. I haven't seen this actor before, so I'm really excited to see him. Awkwafina is also in this movie. Michelle Yeoh is also in this movie. Great Asian cast for this movie. It kind of has a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon vibe with this movie, like from the trailers. This movie looks really, really awesome. I can't wait to see some martial arts in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Coming into my number 9 goes to Ghostbusters Afterlife. Finally, this movie is coming out this year. I love the first Ghostbusters. It's one of my favorite films of all time. One of my favorite comedies of all time. But ever since Ghostbusters 2 and the crappy 2016 Ghostbusters came out, we have been waiting for a third Ghostbusters movie for a very long time. And this movie is basically the third Ghostbusters movie because it did take place after the original Ghostbusters movies. And it did take place when Ghostbusters actually happened. And I like that this movie took place in this really small town. And it's about the kids that are Ghostbusters. And I'm honestly very interested in that. I always imagine, what if kids are Ghostbusters? This could be like the Goonies meets Stranger Things meets Ghostbusters, and I think this movie will basically be that. We've got Finn Wolfhard, speaking of Stranger Things, in this film. Paul Rudd's in this film also. And also we have some original Ghostbuster casting in the film as well, surprisingly. The new trailers look a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to be the Goonies meets Ghostbusters. And Jason Reitman is directing the film, who is Ivan Reitman's son, who directed the first 2 Ghostbusters movies. Can't wait to see his son to do his father's legacy. Coming to my number 8 goes to Dear Evan Hansen. Now, this is a big year for musical movies. We got In the Heights that came out, and now we got Dear Evan Hansen. And there are more musicals coming out this year, but honestly, Dear Evan Hansen is one of my most anticipated ones. I haven't heard of this musical. I heard great things about this musical. The only thing I know about is that the original guy who was in the Broadway musical is returning in the movie. He's in the Pitch Perfect movies. I don't know his name right now. Ben Platt, I think his name is, who's playing Evan Hansen. I watched the trailers, and I think the plot of the movie looks very, very interesting. And it looks like it's going to be a very sweet and heartwarming film about, you know, someone that's lying about something. And then, of course, the truth is the message of the film, the full-on message of being yourself. And that's why I see in the trailers. And this movie has a great cast. Julianne Moore, Amy Adams. So basically, Amy Adams and Julianne Moore are in twice movies this year because they have been in The Woman in the Window, which wasn't that great. But great cast in this movie. So yeah, I'm really excited to see the music in this movie and also seeing the heartwarming message in Dear Evan Hansen. Coming into my number 7 goes to Halloween Kills. Now, I really don't mind the 2018's Halloween. A lot of people did not like the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. It's not perfect, it's not as good as the first Halloween movie, but I think it's the best sequel to the first Halloween because we've got Halloween 2 that came out after. We got Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. So basically this is the best second installment in the Halloween franchise. It's a very confusing and weird thing to say. So this is the continuation of 2018's Halloween. I'm honestly interested to see what happens after that movie. The cast is all returning. Michael Myers is returning. I can't wait to see him do some more slashing. And this is a 2-part series as well. So I'm so excited to see this part 1 of the final installment in the Halloween series. Coming to my number 6 goes to Kanto. This is the new Disney anime film that's coming out this year. We have more original Disney films coming out, which I'm so happy about. Like, no more Disney live action movies. We want to see more originality. And the thing I'm mostly excited about in Kanto, one of them is the plot. I think the plot is very, very interesting. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is doing the music. And oh my god, this is a big year for Lin-Manuel Miranda. He did Vivo that came out this year, which I will review that eventually. Also In the Heights, which I find that fantastic movie. So he's busy this year, and now he's doing Kanto, who's composing the music too because he did Moana. I think he will do a great job with the music in this film, absolutely. The music sounds great in the trailers. This looks like it's going to be another Disney classic, in my opinion. Like, the look of this movie looks amazing. We've got some new characters, and hopefully the characters in the movie are iconic since the other Disney princesses came out. Alright, we are in the top 5 movies that I am anticipating for the rest of 2021. My number 5 goes to Last Night in Soho. This is Edgar Wright's new film, and obviously Edgar Wright is one of my favorite directors. I love Baby Driver, especially. I love Scott Pilgrim. Just, his movies are fantastic. So obviously when I heard Edgar Wright's making a new film, I got excited. And the trailers of this movie blew my mind. This movie looks so much different than his other films. He's trying to go more of the horror genre, like horror thriller type genre. The movie looks very disturbing. It looks very eerie. We got Anya Taylor-Joy in the film. Thomas Mackenzie is in the film. She was in Jojo Rabbit that came out with Taika Waititi. Great casting in this film. This film looks like a really creepy and disturbing movie. And I like when directors try new things. And this looks like a movie that's going to try new things. So hopefully this movie blew me away. Coming into my number 4 goes to Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now, don't kill me guys, but I really enjoyed the first Venom. I still do. I think the first Venom movie was just a lot of fun. It was a movie that knows exactly what it is. It's not trying to take itself seriously. It's just trying to be a fun comic book movie, and I think Tom Hardy was really good in the film. But this film kind of looks better than the first one. I think Andy Serkis is going to direct this movie really, really well. Obviously, Tom Hardy, I'm really excited to see him back as Venom and Eddie Brock. But the thing I'm mostly excited is Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I think he looks freaking awesome as Carnage. It looks like it's going to be a very big bloodbath movie. I know it's going to be PG-13, but hopefully it's hardcore PG-13 at least. Have a bit of gore in it, because Carnage is a very dark character in the comics. So hopefully they made it really dark in this movie. I think Woody Harrelson is going to nail it. I think he's going to steal this entire movie. The trailers look like a lot of fun. It has the same charm that the first Venom have. Let's hope this movie doesn't suck. Speaking of Spider-Man movies, coming into my number 3 goes to Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, the reason why I'm putting this in my number 3 is because I heard they're doing reshoots for this movie, so maybe it might not come out the rest of this year, but I haven't heard officially. It could be a rumor. It could still come out this year. That's why I'm putting this in my number 3. My god, this movie is probably one of the most interesting movies that's going to come out this year. There's so many rumors, so many announcements. We might have Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx returning, like Alfred Molina returning as Doc Ock and Jamie Foxx returning as Electro. That's the only announcement we know. We might have a chance to have a Spider-Verse in our hands with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield might be coming back, or Charlie Cox's Daredevil coming back. Even Green Goblin has some rumors. There's a lot of things going around this movie, and no one is telling us what this movie's about. Hopefully, the trailer comes out very, very soon. We need a goddamn trailer for this movie, because this movie makes me much more curious of what is going to happen. I think Spider-Man Far From Home is a bit overrated, so hopefully this movie fixes that movie, and honestly, hopefully this is the best Spider-Man movie we've got. But again, not too sure it's still coming out this year, because I heard they're doing reshoots right now, so it could possibly come out next year, but I'm still putting this movie on the list, just in case. It could possibly will come out, because it says it's coming out in December. Let's see for this movie. Now, 2 and 1 is some of the hardest movies I picked, because I can put both of these two on my number 1. For now, my number 2 goes to West Side Story, another musical that's coming out this year. And my god, West Side Story is honestly one of my favorite movie musicals of all time. I love West Side Story so much, the 60s film. I have not seen the Broadway, but I've seen the 60s film. It's a classic. My god, this film looks amazing. From that first teaser trailer, this movie looks incredible. I love Steven Spielberg. He's a great director. He directs a lot of great things. And I'm really excited to see him tackle on this really iconic Broadway musical. Yes, it's an adaptation of the Broadway musical. It's not a remake of the 60s film, so I can count this as a retelling of the story of Tony and Maria. I think Ansel Elgort is going to kill it as Tony. I know a lot of people are hating on Ansel Elgort right now. I think he'll be great in this movie. Like, great casting. And also, I'm really excited to see Rachel Zegler. Hopefully I said her name right. She is the newcomer of the movie industry. Like, after this film, she's going to be in the new Shazam movie, and there's a rumor that she's going to be in the Snow White remake. Like, she is a busy girl, and it's thanks to Steven Spielberg for plugging her out of high school and being in this movie, because she's an unknown, and we haven't seen her acting yet, and I'm getting really excited to see her in other movies. So I'm just hoping that this movie is great. Like, how great would this movie be if it won Best Picture like the 60s film did? It would be incredible. I'm really excited to see what Steven Spielberg does with this movie. But in my number 1 most anticipated movie for the rest of 2021 goes to Dune. Denis Villeneuve's new film. Oh my god, of course. This is one of my most anticipated films of the year. I love Denis Villeneuve. I think most films he's done is incredible. You know, from Prisoners to Blade Runner 2049 to Sicario to Arrival. He is a very remarkable director. And obviously Blade Runner 2049 is one of my favorite movies of the last decade. So Dune might be the new favorite movie of this decade. From the trailers, this movie looks incredible. It looks like this movie might be the next Star Wars. Like, it's like the next science fiction masterpiece right there. I'm really pumped for this movie. The cast in this movie is absolutely incredible. We've got so much people working on this film. Everyone's been waiting for a new Dune adaptation for a while, and the trailers of the movie looks absolutely incredible. And I have started reading the book, and the book was really, really good. So it gets me more pumped for this movie, and that's why I'm putting this movie by number 1, because all the hype and the plot of the movie sounds interesting, and the new trailer looks absolutely incredible, especially when you're watching in the theater. Oh my god, the trailers is freaking amazing for this film. So obviously Dune, hopefully this is my favorite movie of 2021, because this movie looks absolutely fantastic. fantastic. So guys, those are my most anticipated movies for the rest of 2021. Let me know what your picks are, and hopefully these movies are good. Which movies in my list think is your most anticipated? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. And have a nice day.